World Health Organization rates Nigeria's COVID-19 response high. Federal government reassures completion of ongoing projects across the country. And on Panorama, spotlight is on bullying in schools. Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us on Panorama, reaching you from the Benin Network Center of the NTA. I am Agatha Egwari Ojo. You're welcome. Medical professionals in the country have been advised to work in synergy, irrespective of affiliation or position, for the benefit of Nigerians and growth of the health sector. This was the opinion of speakers at a one-day Medical Elders Forum in Abuja. Basi Ita Bank reports.
Top medical professional looking to the past, the present and the future. The forum presented opportunity for elders in the medical profession to share their experiences and also provide solutions to present problems confronting the medical profession and explain their activities generally. It was agreed that the health sector has recorded some gains and losses.
And now suddenly we find an optometrist call himself a doctor, and his rivals are ophthalmologists, and the stories across the lab and so on and so forth. The lab says they are the one in charge of the lab. This confusion has fragmented the health service. So we are now having a fragmented health service and we're getting entrenched. This is a very dangerous situation. I don't know how we'll come out of it, but I know a small thing, a strike.
At no time in the history of NMA and the medical profession am I seeing our association and our profession in danger as I'm seeing now. Doctors should ask themselves questions.
For the health system of any nation to deliver quality healthcare services to its populace, some factors were identified, including strong political will, commitments, effective regulation and legislation, accountability and respect for oath of practice.
They should also be looking at the issue of healthcare financing advocacy, so that innovation in addressing the health sector challenges and the medical profession will also be deployed.
They also advocated strong mentorship of the younger medical practitioners by elders in the profession. Basi Taipang, NTA News.
To COVID-19 update now, there are 636 new confirmed cases of the virus in the country. A breakdown indicates that 291 of the new cases are in Lagos, 117 in Rivers, 58 in Taraba, 54 in Akwa Ibom, 28 in Kwara, and 14 each in Ekiti and Ogun states. Others are the Federal Capital Territory with 14 new cases, Oyo 11, Edo 9, Osun 6, Bayelsa 5, Delta and Gombe 4 each, Abia and Plateau 3 each, and 1 in Sokoto. This brings total number of confirmed cases in the country to 181,297. 166,709 patients have been treated and discharged, while 2,211 deaths have been recorded. Still talking health, the World Health Organization, WHO, has ranked Nigeria's COVID-19 response as 4th best in the world. WHO country representative Dr. Walter Molombo disclosed this at an event on the arrival of the first consignment of 177,600 doses of the Johnson & Johnson COVID-19 vaccine in Abuja.
Nigeria takes delivery of 177,600 doses of the Johnson & Johnson vaccine Thursday, part of the 29,850,000 doses procured by the federal government from the African Union, which will be arriving in the country in batches. The World Health Organization described the feat as another landmark event in Nigeria's response to the coronavirus pandemic.
Has been widely acclaimed by many as one of the most successful so far in the world. And Nigeria was ranked 4th among the top 10 most effective response to COVID-19. Nigeria preparation for the second phase of COVID-19 vaccination, involving more resources and logistics, is highly commendable. And yet again, this is an occasion to recognize and to applaud Nigeria.
The WHO country representative says the Johnson & Johnson vaccine is highly effective against the COVID-19 and its Delta variant. In Abuja, Olusheye Adiagbo, NTA News.
From Health Matters, Edo State government says efforts are on to sustain the relative peace being enjoyed in recent weeks in the state. Governor Godwin Obaseki was speaking after the monthly security meeting with heads of various security agencies in the state.
Before now, the news of passengers being kidnapped on the Benin-Auchi Road and other areas in the state have been a major concern to many, until the state government, in collaboration with security agencies in the state, waded into the situation. Following the outcome of the meeting held behind closed doors, Governor Obaseki says the report revealed a relatively calm state and efforts are on to maintain and reduce kidnap cases on the Benin-Auchi Road.
We reviewed this security situation in the state for the month of July. Quite a lot of activities have been undertaken or are being undertaken to make sure that the incessant kidnapping on the Benin-Auchi Road is handled and is brought under control. We've seen a few more cases along the Oromia-Agbo axis, and that is being worked on.
The governor also explained that it has been noted that there is correlation between drug use and incidences of crime, and as such, the state is stepping up campaigns against drug use.
So one of the action items is to work with the NDLEA, get the services to undertake joint operations with the NDLEA into drug hubs, and also to work with, members of the society, religious organizations, non-governmental organizations, the press in advocacy, so that we can highlight the dangers of drug use, and see how we can bring drug use in the state under control.
Commissioner of Police Philip Ogbadu assured that men and officers of the Nigerian police and other security agencies are intensifying efforts to check the menace on several roads. He urged residents whose cars were snatched within the last few months to check with the state force headquarters for possible recovery.
Between Benin and Auchi Road, it is very safe to travel. Benin-Agbo Road, it is safe. Benin Wari Road, it is safe. Benin-Lagos Road, down to our boundary at Osu, it is safe. Benin-Akure Road, very safe.
The meeting was attended by all heads of security agencies and the Deputy Governor, Philip Shaibu.
And the enactment of anti-bullying laws, as well as practice of proper upbringing of children, have been recommended as some of the ways bullying at all levels can be reduced. Eugenia Ndubisi has details.
Bullying is an unwanted, aggressive behavior intended to hurt another individual, especially among school-aged children. This usually involves a real or perceived power imbalance. The behavior is repeated over time, and children who are bullied and who bully others may have serious or lasting problems. Types of bullying are verbal, non-verbal, physical, and social bullying. It can occur at home, school, and neighborhoods.
There's a parental problem at home, and it's now becoming a very big problem in school. Moreover, the counseling units in schools are not functional the way it should be. So this whole thing is a problem. It's an holistic problem that needs a holistic approach. All hands have to come on deck.
It's a character being developed maybe from upbringing, or you just find yourself in a certain society. Take for instance, this is Ring Road. Some boys grew up here. They never had that as character in the house, but they just saw it in the society. They live by it and they stay inside it.
Research indicates that individuals who are persistently subjected to abusive behaviors are at risk of stress-related illnesses, which can sometimes lead to suicide. Those who are also targets of bullying can suffer from long-term emotional and behavioral problems.
That child grows up losing confidence in himself or herself. He grows up, intimidated among his peers. He sees himself as not being equal to the task because, the parent has succeeded in, removing all the confidence in him or her as a child.
It's a behavior that is reinforced. When a behavior is allowed to continue, to persist, the behavior becomes reinforced. When the behavior is reinforced, the behavior becomes very strong. When it becomes very strong, it becomes a threat to the society. That's exactly what bullying might lead to.
Prevention of bullying, respondents say, is a collective responsibility.
Parents and teachers, even the state government, should bring out robust policies that will checkmate all this bullying in schools, because any child that you see that bullies one another might end up, if you investigate properly, you discover that child might be a victim of bullying too.
The recent viral video of students of Edo College bullying a fellow student sparked public outrage and widespread clamor for key players to be increasingly alive to their responsibilities to eliminate this societal threat. In Benin, Eugenia Ndubisi, NTA News.
All right, here in the studio to discuss further on bullying in schools is an educationist, Dr. Nusa Aladishelu. Good afternoon, ma'am. Welcome to Panorama.
Thank you for having me here.
All right, now this viral video of Edo College is still a talking point here. Do we have statistics of bullying in schools? What are the causes? Where does it stem from? And why do children become bullies?
I can't say for sure whether it is a research topic for those who are interested in studying this realm to have looked at it over time. So I can't say whether we have statistics, but it's a regular occurrence. It's so regular that you can't deny that it's happening among children of school age, in schools, at home, even under the watchful eye of parents. And in school, it has just been revealed that it has reached, quite a level that we can no longer tolerate or look away. Teachers look away, prefects look away, parents look away, but from what we saw from Edo College viral video, I think it's time for everyone, all duty bearers, to begin to watch out. And if we are to borrow the campaign of NAPTIP to this situation, we can say, whoever sees something should say something. So bullying has been rightly described from the report on the street. It's a situation whereby in schools particularly, senior students see the junior students as those who have now come, and even usually after orientation, they still give additional value. I wouldn't say additional value. They want to let the junior students know that they were here. And if we go by what we used to say when we were in school, 365 days is not a joke. And oftentimes, the senior students like to impress that on younger ones. You find those in class 2 bullying those in class 1, and worse still, those in the senior classes bullying those in lower classes. And it doesn't matter what age. A junior person in age may bully an older person in a lower class. And this can happen in the class, in the dormitory, in the playground, on their way to school, those who are day students, and on their way from school, and anywhere. And usually there is a tradition where those who have been bullied vowed to do more when it's their turn.
to get from this lower class and they get the senior class. The one they are going to do has no part two, as it were.
But like in the case of Edo College, like the suspended principal said, it wasn't a case of juniors bullying seniors. It was an issue of classmates.
Yeah, that's part of what we are saying. It cuts across. And what is also now emboldening some of them is the kind of court practices going on in the school environment. And you really cannot take away the situation, the fact that courtesan may have played out among those who were involved in that bullying incidents in Edo College. So, and also in other schools, because you want to find out how will a child get so bold and so courageous to take something that can maim another student, a classmate, as we saw, a classmate. I mean, we know that bullying usually, like I said before, is a senior student, asking a junior student, either, particularly if the junior student has richer parents, and the junior student comes with more sophisticated, or better, enhanced pocket money or provisions, in the boarding house, and therefore the senior ones who don't have such privileges may bully the junior one to surrender all their pocket money or all their provisions and so on and so forth. Particularly in schools where students are allowed to bring in provisions, unlike some very highly disciplined schools where it is not allowed at all. So you want to find out what is the reason behind a classmate bullying a classmate, and that's what brought me to the conclusion that there is something else playing out there, because usually classmates they form a clique of common thoughts and same mind as to what to do with the juniors and not what to do with themselves, and to the extent of putting another one's life in danger, and even to the point of killing another one in the class. So I think the bullying is an incident in schools and at home that all of us who are duty bearers, all of us who are in local parentis, have a responsibility to watch out.
But when you're saying watch out, what are the warning signs that caregivers, teachers should look out for?
Yes. Oftentimes, just like we always talk about abuse, child abuse in homes, where senior relatives abuse children in the absence of their parents. There's always a warning. Don't say. If you talk, I will kill you. If you and then if you talk, nobody will believe you. So it has become very, very difficult, because the children that are being bullied don't come out easily to say that they are going through torment. They don't come out unless you see some signs around them. Maybe some burns, maybe some wounds, maybe some scars, maybe even redness of the eye or whatever. And usually, like I told my teachers when I was a principal of a school, I told my teachers that usually you must always watch out and see the appearance of a child before you even inflict any punishment. Because in those days, in that particular school, some of the children came to school without breakfast. And I usually warned the teacher that if you kill any child, anything happens to that child, I will not hesitate to put the right arm of the law on this issue. So for children who are bullied, they may not talk, but you can see some signs. You can see a child who usually was very, very warm and very, very bright in class and very, very active, suddenly become, withdrawn. And that's the time when you begin to find out what is happening. Don't take it as, you have started your tantrum again. You will not, find out. Usually, when a child is close to either a parent or another close relative, if the child is not close to the parent and is close to another relative, it might leave the parents and go and discuss with the other relative and tell exactly what the person is, what she's going through. But in the absence of a child coming out, duty bearers, like we say, caregivers should look at the containers of the children, be able to watch Unfortunately, these days you find that there are too many teachers, too many students in a class for a teacher to get really conversant with the mood and emotions and the appearance of every child in class. I'm told that I don't know that happening this day, but there's some situation where you have about 100 students to deal with in one arm. You may hardly know the names. In those days, a teacher will know the name and know, all about the child, by just mere seeing the child.
Okay, now just before we go, what are the solutions, possible solutions?
Possible solutions is that we should not be very watchful. Particularly those of us who walk close to the children. Walking close to the children means you must be observant about certain things and changes in the child to begin to also inquire as to what is responsible. We must find out what is responsible and ensure that if there should be punishment for those things, we should not look at whose face is hot. We should not consider who should be punished. Maybe this man, the person who did it, is a child of a rich man. Yeah, we don't want that father's problem. This one, all that, and baby. So every child should not be above the law. Whether the child is rich, from a rich home or from a poor home, or whatever the situation, the full arm of the law should be applied to address the incident.
All right, thank you so much, Dr. Nosala Deshelu, for your time on Panorama. We'll take a break now. More reports shortly. Stay with us.
The vaccine offers hope for a safe country free of coronavirus. I urge all state governments, traditional and religious leaders to take the lead in the mobilization effort within their environment and spheres of influence. I similarly urge all eligible Nigerians to present themselves and be vaccinated in accordance with the order of priority already mapped out at the various authorized designated centers only.
Thank you for staying on. Now, many Nigerians have been reassured of commitment of the federal government to completing all ongoing infrastructure projects across the country, despite paucity of funds. Minister of Works and Housing, Babatunde Raji Fashola, gave the reassurance in Taraba State, where he inspected Chachanji Bridge, constructed by the federal government. Adamu Haruna Adams reports.
Chanchanji Takum Bridge, though smaller when compared with other bridges constructed or being constructed in other locations, its socio-economic benefits cannot be trivialized, according to the Minister of Works and Housing.
An emergency intervention, really, but its impact is really gargantuan. On one side of it is Benue, on the other side is Taraba, and this is the link that takes you also to the northern part of the country, Bauchi, all the way to Kaduna, Kano, and so on and so forth. So it's a very strategic connection.
The minister maintains that determination of the President Buhari-led government to improvement of quality of infrastructure in the country is an indisputable fact.
Over 800 contracts, over 13,000 kilometers of roads and bridges at the same time by one administration, and the money is just not enough. So
some stakeholders of the benefiting communities expressed gratitude for the project and other ongoing projects in some parts of Taraba State.
We have seen what Mr. President has done. That is kudos to him.
The Chanchanji Bridge is a completed project. What is left to be fixed is the approaching road, and the minister says will be addressed. In Jalingo, Adam Haruna Adams, NTA News.
Time now for Sports Update.
The 2021-2022 CAF Champions League and Confederations Cup preliminary draws have been made. MPFL champions Aqua United will face CR Belouizdad of Algeria, while Rivers United will face Young Africans of Tanzania in the CAF Champions League. Aitio Cup winners Bayelsa United will face AS Ashanti Golden Boys of Guinea. Eyimba will progress to the next round due to their past performances in the competition. Elsewhere in Lagos, the search for football talent continues under the Gulf United Nigeria Showcase as young footballers across the country converge on the National Stadium Surulere to exhibit their football skills. The organizers made the young footballers to undergo a series of training sessions with the mindset of picking the best among them.
We make sure they have a good academic background in terms of good grade in WAEC, then good footballing skills. Then we test them and they get their footage, send it across to our partners in US and Canada.
In football, Nigerians are regarded, very well. And when I see Nigerian players, whether that be in Europe, whether that be in the Middle East or here in Nigeria, I know they're going to be good players. I was not worried about that. The key thing for growing a football nation is to educate the coaches, because that's where the knowledge comes from. The knowledge gets passed down to the young players.
From the foreign scene, actions continue Saturday in the English Premier League as Manchester United welcomes Leeds United. Burnley is up against Brighton and Hove Albion. Chelsea will trade tackles with Crystal Palace, while Everton will lock arms with Southampton. Wolverhampton Wanderers will be the guest of Leicester City, among other matches. With sports update, Samuel Johnson, NTA News.
That concludes Panorama from here. Thank you for watching. NTA stands firm against rape and rapists. Be a part of the fight. Good afternoon.
I'm project supervisor of the second Niger Bridge project. The second Niger Bridge project is a project that has been conceived for a very long time, but it has finally come to life during this present administration. This project has a lot of socio-economic benefits, and it has impacted positively on the lives of the host communities, both in Anambra State and Delta State. The people are very happy. The host communities, they partnered with us because apart from the social benefits, indigenes are also employed on this project.